go for recording to us. Yeah, fine. I think okay. Now you just go to the Google Chrome and then there you can just click on download Power BI. Click on the first link that downloads Microsoft Power BI. Yeah. Come down. Come down. There you have an
This
option
one.
called download. Microsoft Power BI
This
desktop
one.
download. Yeah. Click there. Open Microsoft Store. As this is their product, actually they were routing to now click on get. You no need to download the exe file and then all these options. Now it will simply run it over here itself. That's downloaded.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Once the download is completed, then you can just simply go for next, the simple installation. Then you can
Okay.
able to see that. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
These the other two friends are joining, Vishwa and Gopi.
Yeah, they told they are joining. They will join. Okay,
We'll check with them too. Okay. Meanwhile, let me share my screen to answer.
Yeah.
You can see my screen. Gopi is there. You can meet Vishwa. Guys, this is a 40-minute session. After that, automatically it will cut. So as this is the second day of the session, wherever we cut it, we will try to continue it by tomorrow. So anyways, that we are going to get the notification at 10 minutes before we'll use it. Okay. So
The
as a quick,
voice is slow.
now?
Fine.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Which one is also there here? So guys, as a quick note to cover on this morning that we have discussed about a few things, right? So let me want that I use this driver. Which browser I have opened it. Yeah. Okay, fine. So we come here, the dark and the light mode that we can go so that you can see better. Fine. Fine.
Your voice is low.
No, I'm speaking low only.
It's
okay. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 drive. Okay, fine. I think now you can able to listen to me, right? You can hear me right properly?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
fine,
yes.
fine. Yeah. So I have just opened this one to just give you a brief about this morning that we have just come to know what is a Power BI desktop workspace and mobile applications. And then we have the links to download this particular things, and we can see what is the monthly updates. And there is a YouTube channel, Guy in a Cube, that we can able to follow this. And we have seen what is a coupled model and what is a decoupled model, and what is a report view, what is a data view, and what is a model view. And then we have seen like a sample data file, CSV files that we can download it from the web link. This is the link that will help you out on that. And then we could able to download some particular pages and we can read this particular data into the Power BI. Whenever you would like to change any part of that particular file and all, then we'll use the data source settings. And these are some of the data types it is available over there. Okay. So the same thing, I'm going to repeat it in a quicker way. I'm just going for the get data, as this is a CSV file. So I'm just simply opening one CSV file. May not be the same CSV file, but it's a different CSV file.
Sorry, can you bit louder?
Is it fine now?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So anyways, we got the same CSV file actually. So we have seen the options like the load and transform data too as well. So the load will help you to load the data, and the transform data will help you to transform the data, and then you are going to load this one. So when to use the load and when to use the transform data is the question thing now here. So when you see these kind of things, when to use a load option directly and when to use a transform load actually. See, when you have this. Hey, come on. Come on. Yeah. When you just go here, you have a similar things that when we have to use the load option is something like when you can see the data directly. So that means whenever you can see the data that whatever it is coming directly, if you can see these things, then you can see, you can use the load option. But when to use a transform data is like when you can't see your direct data. You can't see the data directly, then in that particular cases, you have to use the transform data. That means if I just go to the Power BI over here, I can read the data here. So the moment that when you click on the load and when you can read the data, it's always suggested to click on the load data. But if you didn't see the data directly, you have seen some names and all, in that particular cases, you can go for a transform data. Okay. In that particular cases, you can go on like a transform data and all. So, okay, now I'm just going for this. Fine. So I'm just going for the load data. So now it has been loaded for this, how many records it has been loaded, everything that we can able to see. So once when you click this, there is an apply changes. Whenever you're seeing this particular warning message, there is something need to be an updated on the Power BI desktop. So you always have to keep that particular apply changes. If you don't want to reflect those particular changes, you can discard those changes. Now that particular thing, it has been updated. Now you can able to see this is the information that you got it. Okay, that's cool. Now, this is the data I can able to see here. Okay, this is the data I can able to see here. Now I would like to remove these three columns where I don't want to do this one, so that I needed to capture only these particular things. And these are the results that I will show in my visual actually, not here. Okay, so in that particular cases, what I can do, I can just simply go for this. I have shown you like if you would like to change the path, the data source settings will help you out. If you click on this transform data and it will take you to the M query, that is what actually the query editor you can see say. The morning we have seen this one. And if you would like to remove these three columns, actually, you can just go and remove the unnecessary columns. as simple as that you are doing a filter operation in your Excel sheet, the same thing that you are doing it here. And for this, actually the record it is over here. Okay. And now morning we have seen like a multiple columns, but here in the data that we could able to see only the 3 columns. And now I would like to change the data types of it actually. Now this is not the data type I would like to select for this is like whole number, as these are all the numbers. And the data type for this is like a string. And the data type for this is like, again, a whole number. Okay. So this is what I have been selected over there. Now, with all these particular things, actually, if I would like to add a new column, actually, there is an option to for you to add a new column, and you can able to manage those particular things and all. So slowly I'll come to that particular options. So once if you see these particular things, okay, you select it over here, it will allow you to check for an each and everything over there. So now the code, I would like to rename this as an ID. So access to BIOS amenities. So I would like to rename this as like an amenities. Occupied private dwelling. That's, I would like to say this. Occupied capacity. I recommend you guys, even the space, when you are using a names, actually the space is also acceptable, but I recommend you to not face any issues in futuristic way also. Suggested to make it as always an underscore. It's one of the best standard codes that you can able to follow for this one. So naming this. Now what we have done, we have filtered the rows, we have changed the type, and we have renamed the columns too as well. And if you would like to do something, like enter a data or something. So if you would like to remove any rows, actually, you can able to go for here actually. If there are any duplicates, try to remove from this. Now it's a 10 records. If I click on the duplicates, then automatically it's going to be removed this particular data and all. So suppose if you just click on this particular enter data over here, enter data will take you to create a new table. Actually, you should not use those particular options. If you would like to edit these particular informations, it is must ensured at the source level itself that you have to edit it, and then you have to bring up those particular things over there. And now I would like to click on this. What are the options that we can see here? Look, you can able to copy this, remove the other columns, duplicate this particular columns, add a columns from examples. Okay, this is one of the artificial intelligence embedded inside to this particular things. So I will show you that what is the meaning of it actually. So when you just go for this particular things, add a columns from example, then it's going to add a new column. And the new column is something like, I can say the new column is an expected one actually. I can say this is an expected one. So here everything is same actually. So I can't able to show you that. This is not the right one. Okay, cancel this. I'll show you that. Okay, let me go for create a new data. I'm just creating a new data over here. Enter this. Add a column. This column is something like, you can say it is like a month number. And the other column, you can say it is like a month short name. Okay, so month short name and month number, you can see this. Now I'm just adding a 5 different numbers. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here I can say this is like Jan is something like a Jan, I'm going to mention it. And this is like Feb. And this is MAR. And this is APR. And this is like May. Now I would like to add 3 more columns. Okay. Now in this actually, this is a 3rd month. This is a 5th month, and this is the second month I'm going here. Now, as this is the third month again, this is like March, this is like May, and this is like Feb, it is coming in here. Okay, fine. Now just give okay. Now this is the second table, here it will be adding. Okay, wait for a while. So now this is the table that if you would like to rename this particular table, you can just go here the name. So month name, you can say this one. Okay, MONTH. Month name that you are doing it. Now what you can do, the month's name, short name, you can select it, right click here, and then add column from the examples, you can say that. So click on here. Now you can say this is month name is the one that I'm referring it here. And here if it is like a Jan, whenever there is a Jan actually, January I would like to mention. See this one. This is an artificial intelligence tool. It has been understand this. Yes, it is a February. Yes. This is not MAR is like Mercury, it has been taken, but this is something like we have to correct that it as a March. Then here, when I corrected this as a March, then automatically here also it will correct it. See. Okay, here also it is getting corrected. Now this is something like PRL, April, and this is something like May. So when I see these things, these suggested values, I'm just giving this whenever MAR is equal to there, I'm write it as a March. Then automatically in future, whenever MAR it is again coming, automatically it is detecting that as a March. And here, if it is like a Feb, it is writing automatically, see this, it's a February. Automatically it detected all the things and all. Okay. So now just simply give okay. Now see this one, a month name, it has been added over there. This is a one way. This is an added an additional column using an artificial intelligence. You can say that we are going to add a column using an artificial intelligence. So that means you have to, I cannot say it's an exactly an artificial intelligence because this is a kind of a machine learning column. You can say that you are training your data saying that whenever there is a Jan, it is coming, you have to write that as a January. Whenever a February it is coming, you are mentioning that as a February. Whenever MAR it is coming, you are mentioning that as a March. So you are training the data initially. Based upon that particular training, automatically it is going to add in the futuristic months also, whatever it is going to be there. So this is a one way of adding a column using AI tools, you can say that. Do you have any doubts in adding up a column in this particular way? And this is the code automatically it is generated for this. Yeah.
Can you show me one more time how to add that added column?
Yeah, sure. I'll do that answer. I'll have to remove this column. See, based upon this particular column, I would like to add. So that's why I selected this particular column. Right click on this one. Add a column from example.
Okay.
Click on this add a column from example. Now it is asking that when there is a January. So if it is like a January, so I would like to mention this as a GUNV like January if I write, then automatically it is recognizing something. Feb is nothing but February, but MAR it not recognized properly. So that's why I would like to write it as a March. Okay, Feb it is recognized, but cancel this. I'll show you. Yeah. Just go January. Automatically it's February. Yes. But this is something like March, I would like to mention. But this is something like April, I would like to suggest this. This is something like may I would like to suggest. So if you suggest once, then automatically the remaining data is coming. Okay, so just give okay. Then automatically the additional name. So the column name would be like month name, you can say. So now you got the month name column too as well. You have a month number, you have a month short name, and you have a month name also. This is how you can able to train your data actually. It's one of the advanced ways of adding a column actually. Okay, so this is one of the latest technique available and the advanced ways of adding a column that you can able to add the columns as per the requirements.
But how frequently we'll use this type of things in?
That depends how. That depends. You have to understand the scenario and then you have to use it.
Okay.
If you want to use it everywhere, you can use it. If you don't want it, like you can just go with a simple ways to it.
So you have used this thing, this type of thing?
Yeah. Especially we use this into the data modeling side, and in some of the cases, for example, that I'll show you a very best example. Yeah. Enter a data. Now you can see this actually. You can say that name, and then here you can see this units. Okay, when we are dealing with this particular things, whenever the stress it is coming, so the units is something like Newton per mm square. Okay, so and in the similar way actually, whenever the length is coming, then we were writing this as a millimeter. Now we just give okay. Sorry, I would like to add a couple of points to us, so we can just go for the source, add, and again you can just go for the length here and just simply copy the same to as well. Just give okay. Now based upon the units, okay, based upon the name, I would like to add a column from examples, insert. So now when the stress is coming, so when actually the stress is coming, I would like to call that as like a Newton per mm square. And whenever the length is coming, I would like to call that as an mm. And whenever the length is coming, automatically it recognizes to see it's an mm. So just give okay. It's one of the realistic scenarios. I have something in a units in a different way. So I would like to present that. So for example, that you got the density value in terms of like kg per cubic meter, but you would like to convert that into something like a Newton per mm cube. So in that particular way, you are providing the calculations. What is the units? When these units are there, this is the units that I need to get it. So it's a simple if conditions that we were writing. If the name is stress, then I would like to write this units as a Newton per mm square. Okay. So what
is there any chance that it will, sorry, like, is there any chance that like values also it will convert from conversion take place?
You have to write a formula for that. I'll come and let you know that. Okay.
But it is available, right?
It is possible. Yeah. It is possible to as well. Okay. So whatever is possible in Excel, everything is possible over here too as well. Okay. So now this is where actually that you have done. So these are some of the changes that I have done it over here, right? So now close and apply. If you apply, close and apply, then automatically all the changes will get applied. Now the month name table is adding, the new table that you are creating is adding, and the access all these particular things is also got added. Okay. Now I forgot about this. This is by mistake I've clicked it. Okay, these are the tables that I have seen it. Okay, when to use it? So that anything actually, the very first example I have shown you for the month name, right? Anything in some of your source systems, people will record all the informations in month names only. Like they create it in January, February, or something like that. But in one of the visuals that you would like to display with month numbers, that is like 1, 2, 3. That's one of the live requirement that I got it. Okay. Example, I can tell that like now a company has sold some 100 units in January and the company has sold some 200 units in February. So, but now I would like to show that instead of 1 2022 or 2 2022, I would like to convert that one as a Jan. So in that particular cases, I can use this particular column and create a new column over there. I no need, see here I have like a 5 records that you are mentioning for this, but if this one is repeated for 10,000 times, all the 10,000 columns that you no need to change it. It's as simple as it's going to change for that. Okay, example, I can show you this again, the real-time data. We just consider this as a real-time data. You have something called as a month, and you can say something called as a sales happened on that month. For that, any product you can say it's a first month. Actually, the sales happened around like 2,200 units or whatever it may be. Now, we have last 10 minutes.
Recording the data?
Yeah, I'm recording. For series so that I'll get some number. Okay. Now, actually, what happened? Now, this is happened 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times it has been repeated, all the informations. Now, actually, all the way. Series so that we can see some quantities again as 2 and each and every month that what is the quantities that it is there. Okay. Now, file, save as. This PC I would like to save inside the documents. So inside this data, I can go Power BI data. So now month sales, I'm saving this one. Now with all the existing tables, again, I'm just going here, get data. And this is an Excel sheet. So Excel workbook and the month sales, I'm taking it here. Now, because this is an Excel thing, right? Previously, we were taking about only CSV files, and this is an Excel file. That's why which sheet that you would like to, because Excel will have a multiple sheets. So the sheet one I would like to read, and this is the information that I have it, and I'm loading here. Now the changes will apply. 96 records, it has been added. Let's assume that this is a 9,600 records that if you have it. Now going for this, actually, if you just look into this, the sheet one, but if you would like to rename this month sales, we can rename that to as well. Okay. So this is a month sales. Now go here, click on the transform data. Now in the transform data month sales, you can click here onto the month number, right click on it, add a column from examples. When one is there, actually, what you can see, when 1 is there, you can just mention it as a Jan. When 2 it is there, you can just mention it as a Feb. So this is where like March, April. When 5 it is there, it's May. This is where like a June, Jun, Jul, AUG, SCP, OCT. I mean, 10 is there, October. 11 is there, November. 12 is there, December. Now simply I'm just giving okay because I have primed the data one time. So all the remaining times it's automatically going to consider this. For all the other data, it's going to be considered the months only. Just give okay. Now you can see that you have the full column wherever the month it is there. Suppose if you filter this actually with some September. Now you can see that there are like 8 Septembers. All the columns has been updated with this value. First September that I can see 208, second September I can see 220, and then all these things that I can see each year. Now you got the advantage of this one.
Yes, yes.
Okay, that depends upon the usage that we can able to use it. We have to understand the data and then we can able to go for this particular things. So once it is done, you can just simply close and apply so that the new column it has been added. The new data, it has been added with this one. Okay, now to the data view that if you would like to go, or it's like, again, go to the transform data itself, inside to this particular transform data. Okay, inside to this particular transform data itself. If you just go for here, actually, choose a column name, so remove the columns, remove the other columns. Okay, now you have like a plenty of columns that you would like to go for the choose, go to the column, and you can just select the column name and just give okay. Then automatically it will go to that particular column and then it will display those particular things. Okay, and there is something called a calculated columns. Actually, what we can say it's called as a calculated columns. That means in the month name table or the month sales table, the one that which we have calculated, it's also one of the calculated table. It's also one of the calculated table, but it has been calculated in artificial intelligence wise. But there is another table that you would like to create it with some formulas. There is a standard formula that you would like to create it. So based upon that how you would like to create it is what actually that you need to know this. So to create that particular things, actually, there are like an options that where, yeah, I can select for this particular things. Calculated columns is the whole times. Hey, sorry, my mouse is getting hanged. Okay, so when you just go for this particular things, you have one option called as an add column. My mouse is not. Yeah. Now it's done. You can see this. This is a thing called as an add column is there. So if you click on this particular add column, then here you can see this column from examples. That is what we have derived it here. The next one is called as a custom column actually. If you just click on this particular things, that's a custom column, name of this particular things, and then you can write the formula over here. Custom column formula that you can able to write it. So when 2 is equal to what is happening that you can able to write it here. When 2 it is there, suppose you would like to something. 1 second. So change the type actually. Promoted the headers. Change the type. Promoted headers to as well. Yeah. So there was some wrongly, as my mouse is not working, there are some wrong options that it has been selected over there. Okay, once you see these particular things, actually, this is a one way that you are reading it. And but you from this, actually, if you would like to go for a custom columns, based upon any one of these particular column, you can select it and you can able to add this as a custom column over there. So now you can just add this one, the custom column based upon the month actually. So based upon the month column that you would like to add this particular custom columns and all. So this is equal to something that if you would like to write as month is there. So we can just write some create a formula over there. Okay. As this is equal to the month plus the sales happening that you would like to do for this one. So now what is happening here actually the custom column for this particular month actually what is the sales it has been created. See this one. So the month number is 1, right? The month number is 1 and here the sales has happened at 2. Now it is 201 it has been added.